The opinions expressed in this podcast are individual and are not necessarily representative of Spirit Live or Toronto Metropolitan University. Thank you for listening. Just another disclaimer, I want to say that everything I talk about in this podcast is very subjective. I'll be talking about my own opinions and thoughts, and you do not have to agree with me. I encourage you to have your own opinion and not feel attacked if my opinion is different from yours. Thank you and enjoy the show!
Honey, bedtime.
Okay, Mom. I'm just gonna read one more chapter. You're listening to the Midnight Romantics podcast. Bedtime is optional, right?
Are you whispering up there?
Hello, and welcome back to the third episode of the Midnight Romantics podcast. I am so glad that you're joining me today. We're going to be getting into book to movie adaptations, okay? So I'm going to start by introducing my guest for today's episode. So please welcome one of my dearest friends, Kennedy. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello.
I'm so happy you're joining me today.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Amazing. So I have a few questions for you. What is your favorite romance novel and what's so special about it?
I've got to say it would have to be Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter.
Yes, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I love Wes Bennett.
Yes.
Come on.
Wes Bennett is the best. So my second question is the book better than the movie? What are your opinions on this?
Okay, I would say the book is always better than the movie.
Okay.
Because there's just so much more that can be in the book than can be in a TV show. You get to see the perspective of like the author, what they're trying to get across, and then the characters. But there are certain instances when the TV show or the film is better, just like some, if that makes sense.
No, I totally get that. I think like if we're going like for like generalization, I would say generally the book always is better than the movie. You know, there's like that cheesy comparison where you like the show or the movie is like the tip of the iceberg and then the book is like all the stuff underneath because you get all the like the internal conflicts and you just get to hear that inner dialogue like you were saying. And so I think it adds a lot more kind of beef to the story overall. I do think sometimes adaptations are nice though, just to put like, honestly, sometimes put a face to the people you've been thinking about. Honestly, sometimes though this can be bad when it like doesn't match as how you were thinking, then you're like so frustrated, you know that feeling when you're like, why did they cast this person, you know?
Absolutely. I would say like if you got it with the inner dialogue, you just hear so much of like the thoughts of the character, and it sometimes doesn't come across on screen because you just like don't have that, and then sometimes the interpretation that you're like viewing it is just not the same.
Agreed. Yeah, totally agreed. I think sometimes the adaptations can be done well. And it also kind of goes along with that questions like, well, how closely should we be sticking to the source material, you know, when we're like doing a movie or a show? Like, what do you think about that? Like, how closely should it follow the source material of like the book?
I think when controversy comes up, it's because they don't follow the book.
For sure.
But then also, if you have a film and it's the exact carbon copy of the book, it's just not as entertaining. So I feel like there's always like a unique or special element that like makes it like different than the book, but still following it, if that makes any sense.
No, I
like
totally agree.
The film's able to give like the visuals, and I think that's super important. But then you also want to still keep that like original story alive.
I agree. Like when you start making like a lot of changes to the plot, you start to lose those like OG fans who were there because they love the book. And I feel like when you're making adaptations, I feel like they're trying to appeal to a more general audience, to say like try to introduce people to kind of like a new movie. Like some people might have not heard of the book, but then the people who show up there from the beginning are the fans of the book, and they want to see like their favorite stories brought to life in a way that honors like the source material and what they loved so much about the book. So I think what's important is to like keep those like key factors or key sources that are like really important into making the book like what it is, and then maybe changing like some small plot details. Obviously you have to condense a book to a shorter period of time, which is difficult to do. So like maintaining the core elements and aspects, I think, is like key to having like a good adaptation.
No, so real. I agree with everything you just said.
Yeah, it's like it's all about like choosing what to cut, and like I can't remember who said that quote. Was it Stephen King, who's like kill your darlings or whatever? That's I feel like that's a hard part. Like if I was an author going through the process of like making a movie, I think it would be so hard to like see your hard work and like, oh, that moment between those characters get cut. But it's something sometimes that has to happen if it's not super necessary to like the plot or character development in order to like condense the story into how long it needs to be.
Yeah, every reader picks like their favorite scene, and then like
exactly.
it might not show up in the movie, and then they're upset over that.
Exactly.
Like I think that there has to be like the certain scenes that are like really important to the story, but then like some things get cut, and then you're like sad, because like I would be sad if like my favorite scene was cut.
Yeah, no, totally, for sure. So we're going to talk next about some upcoming adaptations. What are some that have kind of like been on your radar of like ones that you're excited about that are coming up in the near future?
Okay, so there's The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood.
Yes, I have seen that.
And okay, I'm not the best person to talk about that book because it was not my favorite.
That's okay. Please yap about it.
But like, I still remember the book, and I'm like wary to see how they like, adapt it. Because I'm nervous, because there's that scene.
Yes.
That everyone knows.
Let's talk about the scene. Kennedy, what scene are you talking about?
The scene where she has unicorn high knee socks on.
Yes. If you've read the book, you know the moment, okay? It's kind of unforgettable.
So that's what like threw me with that book.
Yeah.
I want to see if they do it.
Yeah. Honestly,
like,
I feel like
real.
I personally, because we were just talking about details, I feel like that is a core detail that has to make it in. Honestly, like that's genuinely how I feel.
Detail to make it in.
Yeah. Like, I agree with you. I wasn't also like the biggest fan of The Love Hypothesis, I guess. I think it was like my first, I guess you could say, like spicy romance book that I ever read. So I was a little bit shocked because I wasn't aware of that going into it. And like, yeah, I feel like all Ali Hazelwood books follow the exact same plot. Like, she's definitely got like a formula, like a recipe that she consistently follows, for sure. But I would be interested in seeing the movie. I would pull up and I would watch it.
I'm seeing it. I have to see it. That was like my first adult romance book.
Same.
And that was a wild ride for me.
Agreed. No,
so I want to see how they do it.
I definitely, and I'd be interested. Have they released any like cast information on that one?
Yes,
I think they have. Yes, I have seen some.
I can't remember their names.
No, I can't
but
either.
One is from Riverdale.
Riverdale. Wait, okay, I'm gonna Google it really quickly. Oh, Lily Reinhart. Yes, she was in Riverdale.
Yes.
And then it says Tom Bateman, I think.
I have no idea who that is.
No,
but
I don't know either.
Hopefully they're good.
Yeah, she's in Riverdale. Okay. Are there any other ones that you've kind of been thinking about or like seeing stuff about?
Okay, so I gotta be so real with you. I have not finished this book.
Okay.
But I'm so excited for the movie, and it's Sunrise on the Reaping.
Yes. Okay. Very excited. Okay.
Because
and can we get into why we're so excited for this movie, Kennedy?
Well, what do you have to say?
I'm so excited because Edvin Reading is in it.
I know.
He's playing
Vita, but I'm so excited.
If you guys don't know, I mentioned this. I gave this show on a shout out on the first episode. But Young Royals is one of our favorite shows. Kennedy was actually the one who kind of like introduced me to that show. And it became my entire personality. It still is. I think makes up 75% of my personality. I love it so much. And yeah, it's a really great show. And like one of the lead actors, Edvin Reading, is going to be playing a very small role in Sunrise of the Reaping, but I'm super excited for it.
So excited. I had to finish that book though.
You have how far into it are you?
Not that far, like 100 pages.
100 pages. Okay. I read it in the summer, so you got to keep trucking on because I'm very excited for this movie. No, the last movie, Hunger Games movie that came out was like probably like one of my favorite movies. Definitely, it was my favorite movie of the franchise, I would say. Which I know is like
Snakes.
It was a hot take for sure.
I feel like the original movies, this is my thing with it. I love them so much, but Katniss and Peeta's relationship was not as good
it was
from
not
the
done
book.
Justice in the movies as much as it was in the books.
You don't see that connection they build in the book. It's so important, and that's why I think it had a hard time with like when it became a movie.
Agreed.
Because it doesn't have the time.
And that's like our whole
thing. That's like
one
thing.
That's the whole thing with adaptations. You just can't get into the depth that the book provides. I'd say for me, so I wrote a few that I am looking forward to. Like, I have read, like, majority, I would say, of Emily Henry's books, but the only one that I've really loved is People Meet on Vacation, just because it has my favorite trope in it, and I just thought, like, the main character was so funny, and I really like the banter back and forth. So that one's getting a show that's coming on this January on Netflix, and so I'm really excited for that. And Emily Henry honestly has a lot of adaptations coming out on the horizon. Like, Beach Read is getting a movie, which has been casted. So I read Beach Read. I didn't really like it that much, but like my whole thing is, even if I don't like the book, I'm definitely still gonna watch the movie, you know?
Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah, it's just like I just have to see. Like, I've talked about how much I like to like hate read things on this podcast, and I feel like I hate watch too. I don't know, something about it brings me joy.
I have that same thing. Don't worry.
Yeah, I feel like it's just like it's just a thing. So I'm definitely gonna watch that one. What else did I write? Oh, I know there's been like Fourth Wing rumblings as well. But that one would be interesting to see, because we've talked about this before. If the dragons don't look good, it's gonna like kill the whole thing.
It would have to be like you haven't seen this, but Game of Thrones, they do dragons really well, but that also costs a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know if they could do it.
No.
And they also have to cast them. Like,
yes.
the leads have to be perfect.
Yes, casting
There's so much
Xaden
controversy.
is not an easy task.
No, I would be so upset if they did it wrong.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I think a lot of people would be upset if they got that one wrong.
Yeah.
But like, so many people would be excited about that adaptation, I think.
It would be cool.
Yeah.
Like, the book is so... I know people have their opinions, but, like, the first one was really good in my opinion.
I haven't... Honestly, the first one's the only one I've read. I have to get around to reading the rest of the series, but I loved that book so much. I didn't think I was going to, and I loved it.
No, the second and third, like, is still good, but the first one, when they're in the school and they're going through the curriculum, that's, like, the best part of it.
It's so fun. I love me a good, like, school book, you know?
Yes, but it's, like, the dragons.
Yes, but the dragons. About the dragons. And then the last one, the few I have on here is, I know there's been some talk about like adaptations for like Taylor Jenkins Reid's books. So like there's been like rumors about like a Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo movie, which I would absolutely love to see. That's one of my favorite books. And then Malibu Rising as well. I heard was like maybe getting a show or something, and that wasn't one of my favorite books of hers, but I love the vibes in that book so much. Like those beach summertime vibes, celebrities, like yes. Like, I feel like
the
with
visuals
adaptations...
would be so cool.
Yeah, with adaptations, I feel like getting to see the vibes from books on the screen is just, like, so fun.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I love seeing that.
That's super cool.
Okay, now I want to talk about, what are some of your, like, favorite, like romancy or, like, fantasy even, or just, like have a romance subplot even, book to screen adaptations? And you don't have to have read the book necessarily, could, like, have come from a book, but... What are some of your favorites?
Well, I did mention The Hunger Games, so I'll like move on from that. That's still obviously like my favorite.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about Normal People?
Yes, it was on my list.
I love Normal People.
Yeah.
That book was, oh my God, I just talk about it all the time with everyone. I'm like, have you read Normal People before?
Yeah, it's another obsession of ours for sure.
Yes, obsession. When I was reading the book, I was like watching episode by episode.
Mm-hmm.
So I would read the part, and then I would watch the show.
Yeah.
And then I'd go back to reading. And then I would like transfer, because it was so cool to see it visually.
Yes.
'Cause I think that's one of the best adaptations, because it's so close to the book.
Absolutely. I absolutely love the Normal People adaptation. I read the book first in its entirety. It was my first Sally Rooney book, and I really loved it. I really liked her style with like the no quotation marks. I thought that was like, it honestly really helped immerse me in the story more than I thought was possible. And then the adaptation is so good. The Daisy Edgar Jones and Paul Mescal, their performances are insane. Like,
they became the characters.
It was
insane.
Characters.
I was like, those are the characters.
They are so good. That's an example of casting done very well, for sure.
Yes.
And the Irishness.
Oh my God.
Marianne.
The Irishness.
Marianne.
It was. It's like,
I love
can't
Normal
really,
People.
It's hard to consider that one a romance.
Yes.
Because
there's so much more to it.
It's so much more than just the love story, because it's so complex. But they do it so much justice with like the movie. Well, not the movie, the TV show, sorry.
Yeah.
The book felt like it was the book.
Agreed. No, I totally agree.
The chemistry and the scenes that like they all connected. And I feel like I don't even think they left out anything, really.
No, they were very accurate, and it was so beautifully shot too. Like,
Oh,
it
the
was
film
gorgeous.
of it.
Yeah, they did. The cinematography was insane. Like, it was so good.
Yes, that's probably like my favorite adaptation because I felt like it was so good from the source material, but still had like this new element to it.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. It's just like seeing the story brought to life and honoring the book so much was just like really special to see as a viewer, because I don't think I truly had seen an adaptation that honored the storyline as much as that one did. And I feel like it's a story that you honestly can't stray too much from the actual book, because then it takes away so much from the story itself.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, normal people, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's very well done adaptation for sure. What other ones did I have here? Oh, I haven't read this book, but Little Women, Greta Gerwig's version of Little Women is definitely. I have not read the book, so I don't have like that reference, but I feel like it would be pretty well done in terms of adaptations. What do you think?
I started the book multiple times.
Yeah.
It's just
Classics
sometimes
are
you
hard.
got it, like it's hard to get into those old books sometimes for me.
Yeah.
But that movie is like insane, and it's my favorite thing, especially Greta Gerwig's version of it. It's just so well done, and it's just cinematically beautiful.
Agreed. No, I totally agree. I love Greta Gerwig. I love that entire cast so much. The casting, see, like, that's another example of, like, you really, like, I feel like casting any movie, it's, like, it's important, but when you're doing it from a book in which people have spent time visualizing these characters and, like, bringing them to life in their own way, it's extra important, I think, to, like, pay attention to the detail and, like, how, like, their mannerisms, how they're described, all those kinds of things, I think are really important to make sure you're, like, emulating that in your cast.
Yeah, like, I don't know if you've watched it or read it, but Percy Jackson.
I have not. See, this is something I need to get around to. I know
You
do.
should. I'm a big fan of the books, but the TV show they're doing on Disney Plus is incredible. I will say the casting is perfect.
That's great.
Maybe not visually from the way they're describing the books, but the mannerisms, the acting, it is like you're watching these characters, and it's like my favorite. I personally love it.
That's great. That's so rewarding when that happens. Like when it matches, like, for sure.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't matter about how they look.
Yeah.
It matters of how they perform the characters.
I totally agree.
Like when you see and you're like, that's Percy Jackson. Maybe he doesn't have the brown hair, but he's got the energy.
Exactly. I feel like so many people can get like hung up on like how the character looks or how they're physically described, and I feel like the character is so much more than their physical description, so much more than that. And so I think finding an actor that just can like get into their headspace and like emulate, like we were saying, like their mannerisms, their personality, and bring that to life, that's what we want in a good actor who goes from book to screen, I think.
I absolutely agree. It's never about the looks. It's about like, 'cause you could have the best looking actor play this character and they just don't understand it.
Yeah, exactly.
So that it matters about how they portray that character, embody that character.
I totally agree. Totally agree. Are there any adaptations that you don't like?
Okay, this is not, I don't exactly not like it, but I got my issues with it.
Okay.
Maybe it's just a storyline. The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Oh, yes.
And
I've talked about
actually.
Summer I Turned Pretty on every episode of this podcast, and I think I will continue to, because there's so much to unpack. It could have its own episode.
There's so much to unpack. Have you read the books?
I have read the first book, and then I gave up because I thought Belly was insanely insufferable.
Oh my god, you're so right. That's those books, I love Jenny Han, but like,
me too.
She writes in Belly's perspective, and she's so me.
Yeah.
She doesn't look outside herself, and that was really hard.
Yeah.
I think the TV show does a good job at like showing more perspectives.
Agreed.
But it made me so angry. That final season, I swear it was rage baiting me.
Oh, it was such bad rage bait. I was like, I literally, so I don't have Amazon Prime, but I was able to like watch the series, and I binged it in like a span of like 2 or 3 weeks. I was just like, on my Summer I Turned Pretty grind, and like, yeah, that last season, absolute rage bait, 100%.
I was so angry at all of it, and it was so hard to watch.
Yeah.
So it's not that I don't like the adaptation, it's just more like it made me angry.
Yeah.
Like the book made me angry too.
Also, yeah, it's also the thing when you're starting with like source material that's questionable to begin with. Like I think we can talk like if you go into like It Ends With Us as well. Like there's so many Colleen Hoover adaptations coming out, and I feel like that's its own like little section. But like when like the source material is like, I don't know how I feel about this. It's like it already like brings the adaptation like a level down, I think. Okay, we're gonna move on to our little game. So I asked Kennedy to think of a book that she loved and it doesn't have a movie or adaptation. And I did the same, and we're gonna share kind of like a dream cast or like people we think would be very good like for the roles. So what was your book that you picked and some of the cast members you would imagine?
So I picked Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter.
Shocking.
Shocking. I only casted the leads.
Yeah,
because
so
I
did
couldn't
I.
think of anyone else. So for Liz, I could not think of anyone really. Because like she's like this classic redhead character.
Oh my
so
god,
then
it's
obviously
me.
there's like the Sadie Sink.
Yeah.
Obviously she's so talented, but I would love to see a new actress play her. Like someone who's young and can embody the character. And so I don't really have anyone, but I would love to see like a breakout actress be able to play her role. Also, I would love to be casted. I want to be an actress. So like I'm a redhead too.
Yeah, she's a redhead too, guys. Lynn Painter, you've got your starring Liz right here, okay?
And then I have my Wes. There's two.
Oh, there's two.
So
Okay.
So there's one actor, his name is Jack Champion.
Okay, I'm Googling.
And he is, from what I know him as, he's an Avatar, The Way of Water. And I think he could be a good Wes.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just looking at, he gives Wes energy so much.
Yes.
He gives that golden retriever vibe. Absolutely.
I know. And then there's Charlie Bushnell, who plays Luke in the Percy Jackson's TV show.
Okay.
And he voiced Wes in the second book, Nothing Like the Movies.
Oh.
For the audiobook.
Okay.
And I think he could be a really good Wes as well.
I agree. I totally agree with that.
Like, they have the actors who could play it. So, like, can we just, like, make it happen?
Yeah. I agree with that. Okay, so for my book, I don't know if you've read this one. I picked Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren.
I have not read it, but I would love to hear.
I just casted the teenage versions of them. Because it's hard when you're doing like a two-part thing to be like, well, if you have the teenage selves, do you like age them up or do you cast a new actor, you know? I feel like that's tough. So I just did the teenage ones because like that's my favorite part of the book is when they go back into the past. So I picked like pretty like more well-known actors, I think, but I also agree with what you said about picking like lesser known actors, and like I totally agree with that. So keep that in mind for mine. I would definitely do that. But for Teenage Macy, I picked Jenna Ortega because I feel like she could like capture Macy's energy very well, and especially because I think it would be like more like I really want to see her in like a romantic movie. I don't know. I want to see her in that because I've just been watching Wednesday and stuff, and I feel like she's so versatile. So seeing her like in that kind of movie, I think would be really great.
That'd be so cool. I would love to see that.
Wouldn't you love that? I know. And then for Teenage Elliot, I picked Lady Bird era Timothy Chalamet. Okay, let me give you my reasoning. Okay, but it has to be Lady Bird era, not whatever's happening right now. Okay, not that. Lady Bird era specifically. Even I will do Little Women era. Okay, not current era. But pretty much because Elliot is described as like this like gangly and awkward like skinny kid, and like that's Timothy Chalamet you're describing to me. And like Timothy Chalamet has like that nerdy energy that I feel like he could play really well into Elliot. And like Elliot's very quiet and introspective, which I think Timothy Chalamet's played like a lot of those kind of roles. So yeah, I picked Timothy. But Lady Bird era.
Of course you did.
Okay, we have to be specific here.
But like Lady Bird era though is great.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Not the character, the hair.
Yeah, see, and Elliot is described as having a lot of hair, so that's also the first thing I thought of. I was like, he has a lot of hair in that movie.
Perfect. Let's just go back in time so it's there.
Exactly, okay? It's a fantasy cast. It can be whatever I want, okay?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that just about wraps up our episode today. Is there any other, like, last thoughts that you want to share?
I would just say that movies and books have a very interesting relationship.
Agreed.
And especially now, what everything is being adapted, and, like, there's so many different books turning into movies, it matters to actually read the book.
Agreed.
because it's going to always give you so much more. And if you don't like the movie, give the book a chance.
Agreed. For sure.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having me. Had the best time.
Yeah, we had a great conversation. We always do. Regarding anything fangirl fiction. That's our thing.
Yes, exactly.
So thank you so much for being on the show. So, as a little outro here, thank you for coming back. I really appreciate it. Thank you again for joining me, and I will see you next week for the 4th episode. And remember, bedtime is optional, right? That's right. Finish your last chapter. Okay, see you later.